Hello, welcome to another replay of this is 2 versus 1 bananaWhale as the Seraphim versus ZI4 as a Cybran and Zoom as another Seraphim, purple Seraphim. This is, as I said in the beginning, 2 versus 1. Opening bit weird for the banana, starting with a pigeon first. I'm sure that was a mistake. Pigeon first, and some couple of factories after. Total of like nine factories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories. And for our Cyb&Serra player, 4 Mexes and Hydra Rush. Factory 4 Mexes Hydra Rush. I assume he's similar. No, this is slightly less efficient. I think he's gonna run out of energy doing this. So factory 2 Mexes. This is a combination of like a land opening, triple land, no hydro, but he gone for a hydro. So this is a bit weird. Definitely ineffective. He is taking it to middle to reclaim all of the middle mass, like quite a lot of reclaim around the hills, and of course Hazer has like double of it since he's alone, though he will have to get it first. Quite a lot of reclaim on this structure as well, in the middle from these tents or a car. In total, just from looking here, it's like 25,000 of reclaim. That's a lot of stuff to reclaim. But we will see how does he... Seems like he wants to be like... he is expecting an early aggression. And since there is a lot of mass, he's putting a lot of energy with some factories behind it as a supporting. And that is correct. Like, if you have a lot of mass nearby, you do want a lot of energy with it as well. So you can fend off like early aggression and stuff, or be aggressive yourself. This is generally like a quality opening for stuff like this. These two players should be already on top of him and scout him, and purple already has that in mind. He's gonna use his scout any second now, any second, or not. Red's still on one factory. He's adjacent to nearby mechs. This one, just 2 extra. With some additional energy, and he's already going for the mass extractor upgrade. It's a poor move, I would say, since there is a lot of mass nearby. You don't really need to rush mass extractor upgrade, but it's expected. Some weird point defense placement to shoot all of this. He could just capture all of this. It would be way more convenient for him, and getting this energy storage is also pretty nice. It will allow ACU to overcharge. Now, Banana is definitely more knowledgeable. Our Seraphim player is definitely more knowledgeable about map, and seems like he's doing as many right moves as possible. Investing all of in energy, and then you can just spam out units. I noticed the sound is too low. I will fix it. Give me a second. Alright. Sorry about that. So yeah, he is indeed shooting all these structures rather than capturing them or reclaiming them with engineers. He could even grab this radar that was in the middle, It's kind of questionable plan. It's not gonna blow up, right? Yeah, and that's engineer gone. This is such a wasted potential. He never even had to build this PD. And it seems like the banana is gonna be first one to attack. Like, there are some engineer drops. This guy is also killing all the structures, but these are like neutral. They don't shoot back. They're not set as enemies. I believe so myself. And since Red is now lacking radar, he doesn't know like about this early aggression. He doesn't know anything actually. He's completely clueless that there is any potential army in this corner. And while Purple is definitely more aware that there is no unit coming after him, Red is completely unaware that there is anything going at him. And he doesn't have air factory, and he certainly doesn't have enough factory to compete with the bananaWhale. And now all of a sudden, like, units coming in. And bananaWhale is scouting to see what is happening on top of the base. Repairing a turret, that's an interesting decision. Seems like is already tier 2 upgrade as well. Is he gonna go for tier 2 engineer first? Yeah, he will. Tier 2 engineer. Definitely for the T2 power. Some T2 mexes from enemy Seraphim, well, purple Seraphim player. Has some air bomber that is not used or utilized. Some artillery with extra tanks from the Seraphim player of Banana. Red does have radar, so he does see the incoming aggression. This unit should be pushing like around and trying to make annoyance for the enemy. He reclaim a good chunk of the replay. I mean, of the mass, around like 2,000 to 3,000 of it already. And Red ACU is now forced to combat with ACU to the front lines. And I believe this is still not sufficient amount of energy to reclaim and attack at the same time. But Purple is doing a wonderful distraction for Banana, and he's potentially might lose this fight as well. He's definitely bringing challenge to our Seraphim player. Though it doesn't seem like he's gonna be successful for very long, but it's a nice distraction nonetheless. And Red is having the same idea. Just pushing, but he already has T2 engineers out. He can easily build a turret, which he indeed does. Oh no, it's a TMD. Why does he decide to go for early tactical missile defense? It's a bit questionable. But the Zois do get into his base, and they do snipe off one mass extractor. Using some transports to transfer some additional T2 units. That's a clever move. And additional harass from the back. This is definitely gonna cause some disturbance and force him to react. Though it is mostly scouts and some tanks, unfortunately. No artillery units behind. But he has 2 factories, and with 2 more underway to support that additional reinforcement. As for Red, he's playing on defensive now. He doesn't seem to be like interested in playing like more aggressively. He builds a PD to hold a line in case of a rapid push, but bananaWhale has like a different. He wants to get all of the reclaim here, and this is like his main goal for that push earlier. To break way for this extra mass reclaim, which is, I gotta say. And Purple has like a would like to say similar idea, but I don't think he is inspired to reclaim. And our tier 2 is pushing in, and this is causing a lot of trouble for red ACU. I do not believe that he has overcharge, nor does he immediately build one. An ACU with an overcharge would easily dispense of those units, but seems like Mantis is gonna do the trick and finish the rest of it off, but more Ishavas are coming on their way. Meanwhile, does Purple transition to tier 2? No, he's going tier 2 air. So I guess he wants to go for like some kind of potential snipe on the enemy ACU. These units are sitting idle, not ideal. They could be easily taking out this energy storage, quite unfortunately. But it does cause a distraction for bananaWhale. Yeah. More tier 2 reinforcements, so it seems like he's getting full on upgrading tier 2 factories from the main HQ. He already has like 4 now. 5 with the HQ. Some anti-air, so I assuming he discounted that enemy does have the T2 air. But he's still getting interceptors out, which is questionable decision. I'm not sure was it intentional. Those 2 factors at the top do get killed. And he can easily now just go and kill all of the reinforcements if he decides to move, and he indeed does decide to move the units to kill any additional reinforcements. At this point, I would say bananaWhale definitely holds the more of the cards than the both players would like to admit. He holds a nice chunk of the map, and he has a decently sized economy. If we look at the income, it's 67 to Purple's. Oh, actually no, Purple also matched up, and he's even outdoing him. So in fact, the Purple's economy is better per second, but in Reclaim, I think the story is much more different. 48,000 for the bananaWhale, while only 16 and 300. I mean 3,000 for the both of the players respectively. And he's still killing additional reinforcement. I think he's gonna reach the mini expansion that he was working to build on. I do think he should have maybe doubled down on this expansion and build a T2 here. But doesn't seem to be the case, unfortunately so. Red does go for the mini land invasion, trying to kill off the expansion that was happening here. But I'm afraid it's gonna be unsuccessful, especially if this Ishawa goes back. But yeah, it's the second Ishawa now. So this might actually really gonna get killed, and this T2 factory is gonna leave a lot of stuff behind. Unfortunate padding for the red player. He can't really get a good hit on the Ishawa. And this might actually now prove it to be even more difficult now to overrun this base. So what is happening is he's fighting on 2 corners. One is not actually his real base, but he has a lot of Ishawas pushing from the middle, or sort of like middle, and he can take like most of this take on. He has a 3-point defenses, the Cyber player, but I don't think this is gonna be enough to stop the Ishawa spam. Ishawa do have a quite big of HP, and they can easily take these down. Yeah, this dies really quickly. On top is a slightly different story. Purple is providing some more of the resistance, but I think it's gonna inevitably fail to the Ishawa and tanks that are... no, Hazer is actually pulling back. Apologies, not Hazer, the bananaWhale. I'm mixing the names up because of the other replay. Some rhinos from the red Cyber, but not in a good enough numbers to actually fight. He will need slightly more. No, this is still not gonna be enough. A Cyber and overcharge would definitely do the trick, but it doesn't seem like he's interested in building overcharge and defending against this. Some ally assistance for the Cyber and HQ. That's nice, I guess. So purple is definitely more competent in this game of skill and battle, but I don't think this is gonna be sufficient to kill off the enemy. Does he did anything with the T2 factory? Not a whole lot. He does have his issue of a span of its own, which is quite fortunate, but he really should have upgraded like these factories at the front so he can reinforce his units faster. This is a nicely established base, so he could have afforded. Some drop, light drop coming out from the Hazer. Purple should spot it. He does have radar, but oh, he responded to it, and I think he rallied too. So yeah, this is definitely gets spotted. More additional reclaim. It seems like red is defending well, and his Hazer is leaving him a lot of reclaim behind. Again with Hazer, banana is leaving him a lot of reclaim behind. Concurrently 21,000. More or less, and just like at this chunk here. And there's even more reclaim here, which can be taken, like 5,000 something. Not more, but still good enough to bounce back. But he, banana is now having tier 3 and is building mostly sniper bots. High DPS, but very low HP. Pretty good range too. But tanks would probably be a better decision, I would say. For a moment I thought this was the HQ as well. He's getting mostly lightning tanks. Doesn't mean he is making some tanks as well, but and it seems like he killed most of his T2 and T1 factories in order to make a transition for tier 3 factory, which I would say is like a good decision. And it seems like he wants to go to kill the red player, to make a move on him, and then maybe focus the big chunk of the red army is out of position as well. Purple has him nice and surrounded and is forcing banana to fight him, to face him. It would still be nice to like use this middle army for like a slight push, but there's a lot of defensive structures in the way of that. So the only real way is to maybe pinch attack from both sides. Banana does have a T2 upgrade on his ACU, and there's a strap bomber from the purple, so he wants to finish this with a snipe, I suppose. He will have to hurry because red is not gonna have enough time to fight against this, and he should really fight where his defensive is the strongest, which is like near the point defense. But it seems like he reveals the strat bomber and gets shut down. Quite unfortunate, and he doesn't even broke the shield. This might prove very catastrophic for our red player. Plenty of tanks and anti-air, and tier 3 shield is incredibly powerful at keeping units alive. some sniper boss shots coming on onto ACU, doing some incredible damage. He needs to be careful and start moving back. He cannot live through this attack. The attack on top is kind of whittled down. I can say it's mostly unsuccessful, but he is taking another crack at it while his main army is out of position. And this might be enough to break it, even. This very much be enough to break it. Yeah, this will fall. There's definitely a lot of... Seems like Red AC decided to die. Probably got sniped off. It didn't actually control K. I'm pretty sure he got killed by the enemy units. So now this just makes it purple against the... Well, Seraphim against Seraphim. And he definitely has a big army to take out ACU if he hurries. This is definitely gonna be a close engagement. But he needs to go at him fast. This might be his best shot to take out the enemy commander. After this, it's, I'm afraid to say, all in downfall for our purple player. He broke the shields. A lot of artillery, bounces. He's taking some heavy damage. This is a lot of actually heavy damage. This might actually be enough to kill him if but two shields now coming and they're immediately going for the cover on ACU. I think this ACU is gonna live because of this. And of course the tier 3 unit, which are really good at killing tier 1 units. The Autumn, the siege tanks from the Seraphim. Well, this is one and only push that he was able to do. And it seems like player purple still wants to stay on in game, so he's building walls to defend off this aggression from the banana. But this wall is not gonna make it in time, and there are still quite a few. Well, it's only just one tier 3 tank, but there's all lightning tanks as well, which they can shoot ground, and they do quite the damage as well. Still trying to clear up the mess that is left on top. But purple has like a very good, decently sized map control. He can, if he decides to, he's even with the bananaWhale in terms of production, and he outnumbers in the unit count by twice as much. So purple is definitely not out of the game. He can still beat it, even though he's beating or attempting to beat a higher rated opponent. He should go for reclaiming all of the stuff that is left from his ally and try to regain control of this side of the map, even though it's gonna be uphill battle against these tier 3 units. He does have a tier 3 factory and he's building an experimental. Not so sure. At least he should have preserved his army a bit longer, so the tier 3 can actually reach him. This is mostly building with T1 units, which is not helpful. We want to get like more of a tier 3 units to build an experimental faster, so you can commit more economy to it. Does have experimental. I want to see where does he want to send it. Does he want to send it to annihilate the reinforcements, or does he want to go and like go for a final push? Respectfully, I will send it like to this area so it can go for the main base. But seems like the Banana has a same idea and he wants to go for a experimental himself. So this might not actually work out well for a purple player. Some skirmish down in the middle. He's probably gonna want to clear all the reinforcements. I wonder what does he see with a T2 radar. So he sees some of it, but he's stalling on energy, so his radar is not always turned on. And he should push with this army forward. Maybe like here to these two choke points. They are taking some beating, these units. He's getting additional tier 3 mass extractors, the ones that are higher protected at least. And he's grabbing the new ones, even though he's forced to reclaim them. He's prioritizing energy because he was stalling, and he's gonna move back to finishing the experimental. It should be done in a reasonable timing. Income Zoom is winning by like 30, 40, more or less. He has like about like 40 more income. But it's very concentrated income. It's mostly primarily from his like middle base, and he should really work on to upgrade like the T1 mass extractors that he took over. Yochta is gonna finish soon, and once that Yochta is done, Banana is gonna have all the advantage that he ever wants, and Zui spam unfortunately is not gonna be enough. There are some strap bombers doing some of the work, but I would not use strap bombers like this. Well, I respect this. He's killing the T2 mass extractors, which is where he's getting most of his advantage from. So good on him, I'll say that. And this Zui spam is actually doing some work. He might actually get these back factories if he rallies correctly. But it seems like a rally is same as the last time. Oh no, he shouldn't micro this back. He's gonna see the enemy experimental. Does he see? He's now focus firing it. He should at least try to micro it out of the dodging bullets, as Banana does. But still, dying here is still good enough. He's gonna kill a lot of enemy and friendly units. The Electric Storm is really good at like post-battle shenanigans. Yeah, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's killing a lot of units. It's doing a lot of damage to both sides. Quite a lot of bomber spam from the purple to clear out the factories. Interesting decision. He is giving a lot of hard time to the Banana. That is without a doubt. But Banana is slowly but surely, how should I say it, catching up on the mass. So that might become a problem for our purple player. And also his experimental is still alive, and he can now get a free reclaim of it. At least he should have tried to maybe deny the reclaim with the Zui spam that he has over here. Though I understand the struggles. Also, quite few gunships. But he does have a flak anti-air. Quite a lot of, actually. And Hazer is not, I mean, Banana is not resting. He's reclaiming, going under shield like immediately. He is a skillful opponent. He is going down to upgrade T2 mass X factors. I respect that. He should maybe even ring them as well. Well, since he has engineers nearby to ring all of them. Oh, nicely dodging all of the bombers. And then he's mainly just focusing on the microing the. He's like giving up, like, fuck this, I'm going target engineers and stuff. I can sense the frustration. He does have air dominance, but he cannot use it like effectively. He does go for another Zui push, where experimental is not located. And this experimental is healing quite nicely too. The Zui push is unsuccessful. It is an uphill battle. He will really need like get more T2 factories. I wonder how his economy is doing. Oh, not great. He's building another experimental to fight it. Fight fire with fire. Some of it's going on mass extractors and a bunch of it is going on T1 spam, which he definitely needs like a T2 off. He's gonna finish the experimental, but I'm pretty sure Banana is gonna build like his own, another one, yeah. It's two experimentals against one, both the same class, Yota. Yeah, he finishes it. And he finishes his. He immediately goes for the another one. In all due respect, I think like maybe going for the quantum gate combat ACO would be probably a better decision since it has overcharge. Can deal with experimentals quite nicely too. I feel like this is a losing game past this point for our purple player. Definitely interesting game. Still working on killing the tier 1 factories, which is probably Banana doesn't even care about at this point. There's some reclaim going on here, but not really anything spectacular. Neither anything spectacular is happening here. Honestly, I will just reclaim all of these buildings and units and abandon this position. There is an engineer here. No, there is not. You should notice there are 2 experimentals now, but he doesn't have enough units to fight it. He doesn't have anywhere close enough units to fight it. He can only go for like sneak attacks behind enemy base. Oh, this got snuck over here. That's funny. And he sends like a tank to deal with it. He can definitely use his gunships, his trap bombers to kill the experimentals. They do have quite a lot of anti-air. He's not getting proper fire, nor does he getting micro properly. This is not gonna work out well. No, it's just 2 experimentals now, just fighting. And he's forced to build another one, which is making even more in the mass stall. So he can't really do much past this point. He's forced in the repeated cycle of just like spamming experimentals. I do honestly think the support ACU might actually be better past this point. I think our Russian player is a bit mad. If anyone can translate what he said, we'll be really grateful. I know Zika means bitch. I know about that much. There is definitely more tier 3 mass extractors for Banana than there is for the Zoom. And as I said before, bananaWhale did indeed overtake him in economy. 246 income to 188. So we can definitely spam the Yoktas more comfortably. Maybe even go for nuke. He's going SMD first, which is clever enough choice. Yeah, this is invading in the base. Pierre is shooting down all of the gunships, and of course Yokta has gunships of its own. And now he's gotten him breach into a base, which unfortunately is not gonna spell well for Resume, our purple player, who is also playing Serra. Quite unfortunate too. I do wonder where the Zoom's ACU is located. I need to look for him. Well, he is running away from the base, but this base is his child, and he just lost it. He lost his only child, and he can never fight again. Also, additional push from the siege tanks. Quite a veterancy on these tanks too. Another experimental. This spells doom and gloom for Zoom. He tried his best, but in the end, it was not enough. Some small pause from Banana. He's still attempting to push from the behind, even though it failed like multiple times. That is commitment. And it's always like a similar rally point. You should really just go for like this maybe mini expansion. And yeah, it seems like ACU gets caught up and rest in pieces. So, interesting 2v1. Granted, I did know bananaWhale is gonna win. I just was like wondering like how he's gonna win, like how the outcome will go. And I didn't expect the red player to die that early, the Cyber player in beginning. He did die fairly early and for the most part uncontested. Like there was like some point defense, like a defense line, but it was like it's just a matter of time when it's gonna get overwhelmed. Like either you go full turtle or you don't go turtle at all, which is a weird perspective. And this is where you can see like the unit composition of the bananaWhale, like a couple of tanks all assisting the Yokta, and he's just moving Yokta around all around the map. Similar deal here, even though these units join a bit later. Zooey spams were like good, like they were doing their job, their trick, but he should have like microed them a bit past. Like he always like stopped them here, which was not ideal. He could have easily pushed for these T1 factories and maybe get some like additional score hits on this, though there was a shield, so it was a bit more difficult. But yeah, this is, I guess that was the game. I'm pretty sure Zoom tried his best, Red bit less, I feel, or he was not very skilled at the game. quite unfortunate too. But yeah, that has been game. I've been me, you've been you. Goodbye.